Hi Year 2, today's video is about multiplication. So, multiplication can also be called times, lots of, groups of, multiply, and it's good to know that it has different names but it all means the same thing. And the best thing you can do to be prepared for today's multiplication is practice counting in 2s, 5s and 10s. When we get to the end of Year 2, we need to be able to count in 2s, 5s and 10s, and if we work slightly above Year 2 level, we will be able to count in 3s as well. So, when we do multiplication, we use mental methods. So we would write an M next to our calculation if you solve them mentally. So if it's 2s, 5s and 10s, solve those mentally. Then eventually, by the time you get to the end of Year 2, we'd like you to be able to recall those facts. So recalling facts is just knowing what the answer is without having to count up. So for example, if 5 times 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, we know it's 50, but if we know that 7 times 10 is just 70, that's recall. So we need to be able to recall the number facts for 2s, 5s and 10s. So I'm going to show you today's task. When you come to do your number sentences, you start on the colour which you're least confident with. So you may start on red, you may skip red and go straight on to orange. But if we start on red, you can see that all of the number sentences are times 10. So, like Miss Warner's already said, we must be able to count in 10s. And all we do is 5 fingers counting in 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And we write the number 50. What we must be careful of is that we're writing 50 and not 15. Okay, T numbers have a 0 in the ones. And then 9 times 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So we write 90. And then if you notice that 5 times 10 is 50 and 9 times 10 is 90, then 4 times 10 must be 40. You might not need to work it out every time. And then when you move on to orange, you can see that it is times 5 or times 2. Now, in Year 2, we also need to know those times tables. So, 4 fingers counting in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. 6 times 2, you've got it. 6 fingers counting in 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then 3 times 5, 5, 10, 15. So that's why it's good to do the warm-up of counting in 2s, 5s and 10s before you start today's learning. And then when we get to 4 times 3 or 4 times something that we can't count in just yet, we do a method. So, have a think about it. What is that method called? Did you get it right? It's an array. So basically arrays mean 4 across and 3 down. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now it's really important that you don't forget to count the top row, because if you did another 3 after that one, you'd end up with 4 times 4. And then the answer is all of the numbers together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is your answer. Do count your answer carefully, because that's where some people make marvellous mistakes. And then 8 times 3. So you tell Miss Vaughan, how many across is it? 8 across and 3 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. And notice how this one's trying to keep it in a nice straight line, so that we don't get muddled up. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then I would carry on. When you move on to purple, it's really important that you underline the important information in the question. That will help when you come to do quizzes when you're older. So there are 6 eggs in each box. How many eggs are there in 5 boxes? So this number sentence has these 2 numbers that are important in there. And then you must write out the number sentence so that you know what you're doing. So if it is times 5, times 2, or times 10, we can do that mentally, counting on in our heads. So 6 fingers, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then motorbikes have 2 wheels. How many wheels do 14 motorbikes have? So we have 2 times 14. Well, I can't count in 14s yet, but I can count in 2s. But I also only have 10 fingers. So what we could do is double, as times 2 is the same as doubling. So all we do is double the 10s and double the 1s. So 10 add 10 is 20, and 4 add 4 is 8. So my answer is 28. I hope that explains the multiplication for you. Spread that out over 2 days, and if you get stuck or need any help, just drop us an email.